Hello, I'm Miranda, actress and filmmaker, and welcome back to my reaction channel. We are continuing on with Star Trek, the original series, jumping into episode 9, titled Dagger of the Mind. So I don't know what entirely that entails. Dagger of the Mind sounds like something psychological, messing with somebody's mind perhaps. Hopefully not actual lobotomies, but I guess we'll see. So let's jump in. Infosensory drugs. Tantalus penal colony. Uh-oh. Alright.
Ready to beam down.
I guess they're transporting supplies to a penal colony.
Energize.
Are these like trainees?
I just don't understand the problem, sir.
You're beaming cargo down to a penal colony, Mr. Berkeley.
There's security force field, sir.
USS Enterprise, Tantalus Colony.
Enterprise, affirmative. Our security cover is now open.
Well, that's kind of neat. It would make sense. You wouldn't want to be able to beam up prisoners, right?
Tantalus cargo ready to beam up.
You might refamiliarize yourself with the manual on penal colony procedures.
Uh-oh.
Immediately, sir.
That must be embarrassing. Ow! We've got an escaped prisoner! No one noticed this, huh? Oh no! Well, the penal colony messed up there, like not having that secured. He judo chopped him. Does he know where he is? Is he crazy or evil? Why was he on this penal colony? What kind of penal colony was it? There's so many questions.
Space. The final frontier.
What's going to happen?
To seek out new life and new civilizations. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
It sounded like it was a rehab penal colony, was what the transmission said back and forth. I don't know. Is this guy also going to try and take over Kirk's ship? Dagger of the Mind.
Have you ever been to a penal colony since they started following his theories?
A cage is a cage, Jim.
You're behind the times, Bones. They're more like resort colonies now.
Resort colonies, huh?
Message, Captain. Switching to speaker.
Tantalus colony to Enterprise. We are unable to locate one of our inmates. This is a potentially violent case.
Huh.
This is a potentially violent case.
Enterprise acknowledging. Stand by. Security alert 3.
Potentially violent.
We may have an intruder aboard.
All sections to alert condition 3.
Hey! You from engineering?
No.
Captain, Section C, Deck 14, reporting trouble. Someone in engineering uniform.
I have them, Captain. Closing off Deck 14. Search in progress.
All right, they're on it. Security guards need to work on their peripheral. And now he's... Wait a minute, did he take that phaser?
Captain, he may have gotten out. Expanding search to adjoining sections.
Tantalus Colony, Adams here. It appears we may have an inmate of yours aboard the ship.
Uh-oh.
He's clever as well as extremely violent. Take all possible precautions.
Security on the bridge. Probably smart. All right, Kirk. Oh, man. Got here fast. It's going to take over the Enterprise.
Which one of you is the captain?
I'm Captain Kirk.
My name is Van Gelder.
No one's got a phaser?
I want asylum.
At gunpoint?
Van Gelder?
I want your promise first. Your word that you won't take me back there to Tantalus.
Well, I don't know that shooting the captain's going to get you your way, so probably work on your negotiating position here.
No promises. Give me the weapon.
No!
You gonna pinch him? You pinch him, Spock. Whew, that got tense.
Take him to sickbay. Head back for Tantalus Colony.
Wonder how much space is needed to turn around. Because theoretically, you could just pivot.
You know, after getting him here, it took almost a triple dose of sedative to put him under.
The report said he was quite talkative.
But not very informative. Claim one thing, then he seemed to forget, and then he'd start to claim something else.
You're both quite sure of yourselves, aren't you? Quite expert.
I guess we're gonna learn it's not really a penal resort.
What did you say your name was?
My name? Van Gelder.
It hurts him. Is that a conditioning?
I was the director.
Or like, does he have some sort of chip or something on him?
At the Tantalus Colony.
See what I mean?
But I won't forget! I won't forget!
Editing his mind.
Well, I won't let you take me back! I'm not going! I'll die first! No! No!
So, Dagger of the Mind, is that to say someone's been carving things up in there?
What's so fascinating?
An identification tape from our ship's library. On Dr. Simon Van Gelder.
Dr. Van Gelder?
Dr. Van Gelder, Captain. No mistake. There's a full ID tape on him.
Committed to Tantalus Colony when?
Assigned there 6 months ago as Dr. Adams' associate.
Interesting.
USS Enterprise to Tantalus Colony.
Tantalus.
This is Captain Kirk. I'd like to speak to Dr. Adams. Dr. Adams, regarding your escaped man. Is Dr. Van Gelder all right? We thought you might enlighten us as to his condition. He'd been doing some experimental work, Captain. An experimental beam we'd hoped might rehabilitate incorrigibles.
Jim. It doesn't quite ring true. I don't believe him.
It's just his feeling?
I can't explain it, but the more I study that patient...
You don't believe him and you can't explain it.
I suggest you ask Dr. Adams if he wants Van Gelder returned.
I mean, I figured that was the assumption.
Dr. Adams, regarding Van
He's
Gelder...
pointing out that they're being emotional.
Are you passing near any hospital facilities superior to ours? I'd like Van Gelder to have the best possible treatment, of course. You care to recommend a better place?
There are no superior facilities. He knows that. If something unusual is going on down there, I'm required to enter any reasonable doubts into my medical log. That requires you to answer in your log.
Ooh.
Sorry, Jim.
A little power play there from Bones.
Dr. Adams, by strict interpretation of our Starship regulation, I'm required to initiate an investigation. Captain, I would appreciate it if you could come down with a minimum staff. We're forced to limit outside contact as much as possible. Affirmative, Doctor.
He's awfully confident.
Find me someone in your department with psychiatric and penology experience, if possible.
Funny, he's not mad that he feels this time is being wasted. He just thinks it's a charming side thing. Like, side quest.
Captain's log, stardate 2715.2. As for my last entry, it seems I will get to meet Dr. Adams at last. Report, Doctor.
Van Gelder's still violently agitated, Captain.
And you'd prefer to keep me here until I complete my investigation anyway?
One of our psychiatrists does have a background in rehabilitative therapy. Dr. Noel, standing by in the transporter room now.
Thank you, Doctor. Bridge out.
All right, we got Spock going with him. So, 3? 3 to the planet?
Coordinates?
Locked in, sir. Ready to beam down.
Did you ask permission? I didn't know you were one of my crew members.
Dr. Helen Noel, Captain. We've met?
We've met. I don't remember you, somehow.
Don't you remember? The science lab Christmas party?
Yes, I remember.
You dropped
Yes,
in?
yes, I remember.
Problem, Captain?
You tell McCoy that she had better check out as the best assistant I ever had.
Oh my god, I'm dying. This is great.
Energize.
Oh god, that was wonderful. Oh man. Okay, so just 2 to the planet. Oh man, what are they gonna do? Sorry.
Perhaps it would be simpler if you called me Helen, Captain, since...
This is another time, another place, and another situation.
Of course, Captain.
Elevator. I'm going down quite a way.
Quite quickly.
I wouldn't recommend it for weak heart.
No. A little creepy. Or maybe just abrupt.
Hello, Captain Kirk.
Is that Dr. Adams?
And Dr. Helen Noel. Welcome to Devil's Island, Doctor.
Perhaps you'll call me Helen, Doctor.
Devil's Island.
It's such a great day for us here on Tantalus when we have visitors, no matter what the excuse.
An interesting symbol he's got embroidered on his shirt.
I don't think you'll be able to get through the security screen, Captain. Just a second. Yeah, now try it. Kirk to Enterprise, come in.
Enterprise. Spock here.
We arrived safely, and we're here with Dr. Adams right now. Kirk out.
Affirmative, Captain.
That'll be a thing.
Ah, Lethe, come in.
Well, that's a fun outfit.
Lethe came to us for rehabilitation and stayed on as a therapist.
I love my work.
Very convincing.
Before you came here,
I was another person. Malignant, hateful.
part of our cure, if you will, Captain, is to bury the past.
The shifting of memory patterns is basic to psychotherapy.
Shifting of memory patterns is one thing, but eliminating your memory is another. Are they physically removing it? they lobotomizing people?
And now to the toast, You'll forgive us, Lethe.
Well,
There you are, Captain.
of course I'm suspicious of Dr. Adams. He's probably doing something evil. But we'll see.
Karl?
Do I recognize those caves?
Oh, I was afraid you'd ask about this, Captain.
Captain, if something hasn't worked out and therefore has no scientific
Shall we leave it
value-
up to the doctor? One of the advantages of being a captain, Doctor, is being able to ask for advice without necessarily having to take it. All right, let's take a look.
Interesting interaction.
I do not require neural neutralizer.
Oh.
Neural neutralizer. Can you explain that, Dr. Van Gelder?
Alert! Alert!
This room. What happens there?
Man, he looks wild.
Ah!
Dope him up more.
Ah!
A neural neutralizer. Experimental. That beam from above neutralizes brain waves. One question, Doctor. If it doesn't do any good, why do we go on using it, Captain? It might do some good in the more violent cases.
Tranquilizers are fine, Captain. But to continually pump chemicals into a person's bloodstream...
Exactly my point, Helen. Yes.
Just talk right over.
The reason I asked, sir, was you haven't mentioned where Dr. Van Gelder's injury occurred. Right here, Captain. Yes. Simon was a very stubborn man. He tried it alone and on full body.
It's like going off in the background. What's...
You will forget all you have heard. To remember any portion.
So he broke himself in the neural neutralizing room?
Any word will cause you pain. Terrible pain.
Ah.
Van Gelder has made reference to a particular treatment room.
Yes, he was injured there. I've seen the room. Dr. Adams explained the mistake Van Gelder made.
Things keep lining up.
Mr. Spock sounds like a very excellent second in command, Captain Kirk. Please tell him to go ahead and speak freely. I have to check in with a member of my staff anyway. Thank you, Dr. Excuse me.
Van Gelder is extremely agitated, Captain, and warns that you're in danger.
Oh, that's foolish.
According to Adams, Van Gelder created his own problem.
He's suffering from neural synapse damage, as if his brain were short-circuited.
But we still have some doubts up here, Captain. Can you tell us any more?
I think we'll spend the night here, Mr. Spock.
No! No! No!
Kirk's in danger!
Don't let him stay! Don't let him stay! Don't! No! No! Don't hypo me. Please, don't hypo me.
All right.
I'll try not to fight. Warned you, Captain. Dr. Adam.
So everything he's remembering causes him pain.
Was destroyed.
Destroy how? What?
Right? Death.
Right? Death. I don't...
Enterprise log. I must now use an ancient Vulcan technique to probe into Van Gelder's tortured mind.
Jim Kirk could be in real trouble. Will it work,
Or not.
What's he gonna do? Is it some Vulcan magic?
You must open my mind. Let me warn you, explain to you.
This is the Vulcan mind meld thing. Is this a mind meld? Is this what that... Yeah. I've heard of it. This is the first instance of it being used.
Open your mind. We move together. Our minds sharing the same thoughts.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What did you think of the inmates we saw here this afternoon?
I thought they were happy, well adjusted.
But a bit blank. I'd like to see that treatment room again. You say you're somewhat familiar with the theory behind it?
Yes, somewhat.
The only way I can be sure is to see that machine at work. Or is that too impractical and unscientific of me, Doctor?
It's actually very scientific.
Well.
Coming.
She seems very protective of the established process.
We are Simon Van Gelder, Dr. Adams. He can reshape any mind he chooses.
Oh. Actual editing.
Loneliness. So lonely to be sitting there empty. Such agony to be empty.
Can this be handled with reasonable safety, yes or no?
Yes.
And will you be able to determine if that beam is harming me in the slightest?
Yes, Captain.
She's gonna be like, what do you remember on that Christmas party night?
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
We'll try minimum intensity.
Guess it's not really an interrogation machine, though. You can place the... Oh, you just throw yourself in there. Oh my gosh. Oh, Kirk.
Try a harmless suggestion.
You're hungry.
You know, when we finally get through this, I'd like to locate and raid a kitchen somewhere.
Very powerful thing.
I put that suggestion in your mind, Captain. I said simply that you were hungry.
That is...
remarkably effective for a device that Dr. Adams was going to abandon.
Indeed.
I think we should try this again.
Yes. Pick something unusual, an unusual suggestion.
At the Christmas party, we met. We danced. I suggest now that it happened in a different way. You swept me off my feet.
Captain, if your crew saw you'd carry me here.
My crew is sworn to secrecy.
But my reputation, I mean, just having met like this. Of course, it would be different if you cared for me.
You want me to manufacture a lie?
Oh my.
Wrap it up as a Christmas present for you?
I'd prefer honesty.
It's like, no. This is an empty night, for sure. Now I just wonder how it really happened. Oh no!
Now Captain Kirk is going to have a complete demonstration.
Uh-oh. Now you've done it.
Madly in love with Helen, Captain. You'd lie, cheat, steal for her. Sacrifice your career, your reputation.
Oh, wow.
No, Doctor, no!
You must have her or the pain grows worse. The pain, the longing. For years you've loved her, Captain. For years. For years, I've loved you.
Oh, no. Oh. Oh, man.
Now, she's gone. Helen!
That's cruel.
Now, Captain, let's take your phaser weapon and drop it on the floor. Captain, the pain increases unless you obey me.
So he doesn't have to be looking at the beam, even.
And now you're communicating. Drop it on the floor. Kirk to Enterprise.
He's trying. He's fighting it.
To Enterprise.
Why are you still looking at it, though? Oh, man. His brain's going mush.
They've taken you from the room, Captain. You're in your own quarters now.
What'd they do to her?
Helen, for years I've loved you.
He placed all that in your mind.
For years.
Remember, Dr. Adams took the controls away from me. Do you remember the pain? And then his voice? Remember?
Okay, so she's trying to deprogram that. Why are they letting her be around him then?
I remember.
She's like, oh, this is more than I bargained for.
Go. Give me a hand here. Pull.
The duct.
It has to connect with other ducts and tunnels. You can get through this.
Okay.
It might lead to the power supply. Short-circuited, it would cut off the security force field. Touch the wrong line and you're dead.
Anything's better than Adams' treatment room.
Have fun! Okay. I don't...
Time for another treatment?
Oh. So they have to repeat it, I guess, to make it stick? Seemed very effective immediately, but...
Please don't fight me, Captain. The pain only gets worse when you're done.
So I wonder if that embroidery is... There's a bird reaching for the sun in a hand, preventing it.
You trust me completely. Trust you. Excellent, Captain. Do you know Dr. Van Gelder was down on his hands and knees, sobbing at this point?
The woman doctor. She's gone, Dr. Adams.
Notify security at once, lady. Where is she, Captain? I'm...
Ah!
Where is Heather? And with what instructions?
And with... Oh, he just assumes that he put her up to it.
I don't know.
Maybe Kirk should have fought the security team. They don't seem that tough. He's taken them out before. It is a dangerous room. These ducks are enormous. Well.
Emergency channel D.
It's no good, Mr. Spock. I can't break through their force field.
Keep trying.
What'd she change? It's on off language. Off word. Hi, little lady. No security has peripheral vision, apparently. feel like she's gonna get caught. Oh.
Eli, and find that girl.
Hey! Go, Kirk! Punch him out! Oh no. Go, Helen!
Mr. Spock, the force field is gone. I can send you right to the source of the interruption.
Crispy.
Get some security people and follow me down.
Well, all right. Helen just made a huge difference. She saved Kirk, straight out. Oh, just missed him.
Enterprise, this is Spock. Force field has been eliminated.
All right. So now there's no barriers there. Is he gonna be the victim of it now?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, this isn't right, Captain. Dr. Adams did this to you.
Spock's like, I don't know, maybe.
Jim.
Oh, I guess McCoy went down too. Somebody watch those knobs.
He's dead, Captain.
The machine was not high enough to kill him.
But he was alone. Can you imagine the mind emptied by that thing? Without even a tormentor for company.
I understand.
Hmm. Well, that is a device of torture and is inhumane. I hope you destroyed it or something.
Oh, Captain, there was a message from Tantalus colony, sir.
It was from Van Gelder. He thought you'd like to know the treatment room had been dismantled.
Good.
The equipment destroyed.
That's something. The damage to Kirk, though, is still there.
It's hard to believe that a man could die of loneliness.
Not when you've sat in that room. Take us out of orbit, Mr. Spock. Ahead, warp factor 1.
Acknowledged, Captain.
He's like, but I'm not alone. And his mind is like a steel trap. Vincent McEvedy, didn't he do the last episode too? All right, well, that was an interesting episode. I do find it interesting the way, what was it, Helen Noel, the psychologist from Starfleet, really changed her mind from being on the side of Dr. Adams to really changing her mind to help Kirk more. Like she dismissed him out of hand a lot until she was actually playing around in the neural neutralizing room and saw how effective it was. And that seemed to be the point where she was, suddenly hesitant and careful and concerned about Dr. Adams' behavior, partly because obviously he'd been lying about it not being very effective, but just the potential of that room, which, so the room is called the neural neutralizer. And of course it reminds me of the flashy thing from Men in Black, which is called the neuralizer. So I feel like it's probably, if not inspired, probably pretty heavily inspired from good old Star Trek. So, leading the culture as always. So Kirk has got to stop throwing himself just in constant danger, though. I mean, he has a whole ship of people relying on him, and, you know, he sees that room and he's like, well, I don't trust it. Just go ahead and test it on me. Hopefully it doesn't fry my brain. I was like, oh God, Kirk, why are you doing this? But, you know, it was necessary, right? Because it's not like you could just go experimenting on anyone else. And, I mean, the power of suggestion in that room is pretty incredible. I mean, in the wrong hands, you could make insane super spies or, you know, worse criminals or sleeper agents, right? I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So, interesting episode. It just tickled me to death. I mean, I lost it whenever Kirk didn't know who he was going to get beamed down to the penal colony with until he saw that it was, you know, Dr. Noel from the Christmas party, I guess, that Starfleet has, or maybe just the Enterprise has. I actually don't know the logistics of how that works either, but yeah, that was too funny. So then the theme of it seems to be messing with the mind, and I guess like the theme of loneliness, because that's the thing mentioned at the end when McCoy asks, you know, how can a man, I can't understand how a man could die from loneliness, and then Kirk replies, you know, to the effect of, you know, not until you've been in that chair, like, then you understand. So I guess that has some merit, right? Because there's like these quiet rooms that you can go to, which I think are different from sensory deprivation chambers, although I've never been to either, in which you can go mad, I guess, in the confines of being in a totally quiet, zero stimulation environment, which seemed to be what that neural neutralizing room effectively did. It just laid your mind bare, and just all you had was just the desire for input or sensory experience and it not being provided. So yeah, there's some reality that touches on. Yeah, interesting episode. Kirk, man, he just he's got to stop throwing himself in danger, and maybe lay off the holiday Christmas parties a little bit. I don't know. That was very entertaining to me. Spock, as usual, helping save the day, but you know what? Helen really did a wonderful job helping save Kirk's life by taking out the power and then, I guess, murdering that one guy, but, you know, it was in self-defense, it was fine. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on this episode. Very interesting one, Dagger of the Mind. It seems like Van Geller was able to recover, so that was a positive little side note they threw in at the end. But, yeah, let me know if I missed anything else in here. That's, I think, maybe everything, but I'm sure you guys know way more than I do on these. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this episode. And until then, we will see you next time.